because that would be right. Now, I did decide I'm going to put on some lipstick because, hello, Patreon people, we're getting erotic.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we are.
And I was thinking about what are some things, because I have very little erotic energy at the moment. But I was like, what are some things that, like, in the past at least, sort of help me feel in the zone?
Essential. Yeah.
And sometimes lipstick is it. And there's the proud feminist part of me that understands the problematic of lipstick and what it stands for, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But sadly, there's obviously some part of my brain that does still associate that. So I'm going to put some on.
I get it. Yeah. Is it red or is it your purple one?
It's my purple one. This is my purple one. I love it. So it's from MAC, who I do know, unless they've changed recently, are not vegan or cruelty free. So my apologies to the broader environment.
Yes.
But this is the one that I wore to my brother's wedding.
Yeah.
And a few other things. I do like it.
I'm just going to pour myself some more wine.
Awesome. We're both getting sexy.
Not very erotic.
Oh, I think wine.
I guess so.
Wine has some erotic tendencies.
Maybe. I guess so, yeah. I do like that purple. It's crazy how much more you look done up. You look like you've...
This is my trick, a bold lip. A bold lip is basically all you need to do to look like you've made an effort, especially when you haven't.
It's key, essential.
Yeah. I think especially when you
glasses as well.
Cannot be fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
Brilliant.
Let's do this.
Ready.
All right. Well, in our episode, when this goes up, in our episode last week, episode 32, I believe.
32, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I think so.
Tess mentioned erotic blueprints. So where did you hear about erotic blueprints? Where did you stumble across it?
Who knows where I was? Like, as in what corners of the web? Or maybe it was a podcast. I'm not sure. I think it might have been like I was looking up other stuff around either love languages or attraction. I mean, I get very curious about how attraction works. Like
it is fascinating.
It is really interesting shit. And I think that sometimes then I get like things recommended to me around it, or like hear it's referenced or something like that. And I think that this might have been one of those things of just came into my sphere just through the internet, knowing who I am.
You're like, Tess will definitely be interested in this.
Yeah. So I think that's it wasn't really something that many people know about, and I don't think it's that. I think it could be improved on.
Yeah,
and I think that it will be. I think it's going to become a thing. Even just seeing how like the love languages now become the apology languages. There's different ways of apologizing, you know. And I look at all that and I go, it's just that it's sexual, that it's harder to get mainstream, I think. But like these ones are kind of, and they've been pretty handy. Like just to even reflect on myself.
Totally.
I was shocked and did not think I would get kinky as the top. Like I was pretty surprised just because of how like. I guess I saw my stuff as mainstream, and then I went, it was a good realization. It was like, I need to have more conversations about this.
Yeah, I think that's
that was my thing.
It's like a tool, like most of these things, and you know, same with love languages and things. Mainly, it's a tool to get you thinking about yourself and your partner, and ideally, or partners, whatever, and ideally prompting discussions. Or even just helping you sort of get to know yourself a little bit and think about things that you might not have actually considered before.
Yeah.
And go, oh, interesting, I'm into that thing, or I'm not into that thing, or whatever.
Yes. I think also going, oh my goodness, I've just always found this hot. Other people find that hot. Like,
that's it. Because We've just done a recording with our guest, Sean, who will be coming up in a few weeks. And you were saying in that, like, we all think we're normal on the one hand. And so we all just go with what we are, the pleasure that we enjoy or the engagement that we think is standard.
Yeah.
And you don't even really think about other possibilities until you encounter them with a partner or with a friend or whatever. And you go, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. I think that over time, like, we can come to appreciate other things, but I do think that we do have a bit of a default, and I think that's all right too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did get my I did find and screenshot my my exact results.
Oh, true.
Sort of like the percentages of each one. Yeah, awesome. I found them in an email, so I can read them out to sort of describe what we're doing, and then we can do your little
find out about me.
So yes, the top one was kinky, which is sort of, there's a whole explanation which maybe when you do it you might get to all the like official things, but like 38.1% kinky, and the second one was sexual, which is more like visuals and stuff, which is 28.6. And then the next one was shapeshifter, which is sort of meeting the other person's needs, 14.3. And then energetic and sensual were an even 9.6.
Ah, interesting.
So, yeah. So not very romantic.
Was that a big surprise for you, or that rang true?
No,
not
that rang
super
true.
into that
I do
kind of
wonder whether
sensuality.
It's changed. Yeah, I do wonder whether those percentages might have actually increased, but
right,
but I think that the order would probably still be the same.
Right, yeah. Well, folks, let's find out about Jenn. So I'm actually thinking I
have to actually read out the questions.
Well, what I'm thinking is I might actually even try sharing the screen and see if that works. Because I've got it up on the interweb. Ready for this? Okay, can you see that?
Ooh.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, so this is the quiz, and there's the website up the top there, so you can find it yourself. So there are different ways to use the erotic blueprints in different relationships. What's my relationship status? I am single.
Okay.
Gender can play a role in how you respond when receiving and giving in your erotic blueprint. How would you describe your gender? I feel female.
Okay.
So I guess I'm going to choose female. Yep. But I don't really. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
No. Yeah.
But I.
We can cover that next week.
Yeah.
Or in the future.
Totally. Yeah. All right. So here we go. I'm most turned on when I have plenty of time to indulge, feel comfortable, and relax. I'm experiencing extreme variety, from intense sensation, the tease of a kiss, deep emotional connection, to pure simple pleasure. And then there's the option of both or neither, which I found really good. Like, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because you're then not feeling like, more this than that. It's like, do I really resonate with one of these things or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do. If I were picking between the two, I would say that variety is very important for me to feel into it. Yep. I don't love like long languishing. I mean, it's always context dependent, isn't it? But between the two, I'm definitely much more into variety. Okay. I'm definitely not both. I don't feel like I'm neither either. So I'm going to choose variety.
So just half of those.
Yeah. I'm like 60% variety. Okay. I'm most turned on when a lover's lips hover close to mine. I'm turned on by the anticipation. I'm watching sex and seeing naked bodies turned on, naked turn on bodies, both or neither. I have always really loved the moment before a kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Like super into anticipation.
Yeah.
I think that's really hot. So I'm going to choose that one. But I don't know. I don't really resonate with the term lover because I think in my head.
Sometimes that makes it hard to like. Sometimes the language makes it harder to see what's going on, and you wouldn't frame it in that way. Yeah.
But if I'm thinking about being in a sexual situation and kind of those like anticipatory moments and even the prolonging of that anticipation is super hot. and which I think is what this is asking.
Yeah.
I'm most turned on when I'm doing something I consider edgy, naughty, or taboo.
Right.
When I'm immersed in a beautiful environment with amazing fragrances, music, and sensual artistry. No.
Huh. Okay. Clear boundaries. No art.
Get the sensual artistry out of here.
No fragrance.
You come to me with a fucking fragrance.
Is that all you got? Right.
I don't.
I think the first one because you like public sex.
I do. See, I've only had the one experience. I've only had the one, which was super hot.
It's harder.
And it was interesting actually.
Well, that's what
I
keeps
said.
it taboo though.
Yeah. And in talking with Sean earlier, where we were joking about going to parks and stuff. And I was going to say, I'm interested in the idea of public sex, very much so.
Yeah, okay.
And would be super curious to hear from people who have a lot more experience in that area.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the edgy one. Definitely not the sensual artistry. I don't even know what that means.
Right. Someone's so offended. Someone's like, weird.
I know. I'm so and this is, can I just say, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum.
No, because like
I'm actually laughing at myself. Like I'm not actually laughing at the thing. I'm laughing at myself and how I'm so limited in those areas.
Yes.
Like, so this first question
this is
here.
This is what it shows you. Hey?
Yeah, like feeling connected to the sacredness and spirituality of union. Like to me, that makes me want to vomit. And I'm laughing at myself and my response to it, which is like, blah.
Yeah. It's like,
which shows I'm clearly limited in some of those.
Yeah. It's a shame we don't have access to all of it. But,
yeah. I think sex is simple, easy, and down to business. Of those two, I'm definitely more that, but I'm not sure I hugely resonate with either.
Yeah.
Because
they're extremes.
Kind of the polar opposites, aren't they? And I don't actually feel I'm much more closer to sex is simple, easy, and down to business.
Yeah. But would you actually go for that? Probably not.
I'm going to go neither.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm most turned on when I'm playing a game of surrender to or in total control of a partner. So power play.
Yeah.
Or I am.
I mean, so many guys are into this. So I'm like.
Eye gazing. True?
Yeah.
And breathing with a partner.
Oh, yeah.
And our hearts.
Like, I mean, I'm not. I'm the top one all the way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can see how some people don't want that. They want to be sharing. I don't know. Sharing my experience more.
I love the experience of being in control and also being consensually dominated. So I would definitely be the top one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. But I'm curious to hear from people who are into, like, because obviously Tess and I clearly are turning out to be a little similar in some of our I'd be so curious to hear people who are more in that kind of sensual space.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Who are you?
Where are you? Who are you?
What do you want?
Come and spend time with us. Okay. I'm most turned on when it's romantic. I'm being wooed or wooing someone and I feel special. Not really. In fact, that kind of can feel yuck for me. But it's hard to know with some of this stuff. Is it trauma-y things? Is it just like...
Yeah, like if it wasn't... if it had been established that they're not trying to get something from you, maybe you'd love some flowers.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
But see, and this is where it's like...
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So you have allergies.
See, I don't resonate. Hence the fragrances. Get the fragrances out of here. Bad for my asthma. I'm such a catch. I do not resonate with the word romantic at all. No. But so I think that's where wooed probably doesn't work either, because that's more in that romance space. I really am into the pursuing, but not in a creepy way.
Yeah.
Again, it's that anticipatory stuff. Like I'm into that experience of like finding someone really hot, knowing they find me really hot. and we can't or
Yeah.
won't do something about it. That is so hot.
Yeah.
But that's very different to like
I really
romantically
like-
wooing.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, that's very true. I definitely find, I think this is why I would, for me, like spending time out at a bar or something like that is way more exciting for me than foreplay. Because it's like, for me, it's like that anticipation.
Yeah.
Like, I hope this is
It's
gonna
energetic
happen later. But
foreplay.
then, like, yeah, and it's more like conversational, I think, which I like. And that, what's that term where you like talk, you like, it's not demisexual. Sapiosexual or something like that, where it's like over like
intellectual
thoughts.
Yeah,
You're like yeah, I like that. So yeah, rather than, but like wooing doesn't really resonate with me either. Anyway,
I think I'm more just go for it. Yeah, I think that comes with anticipation as well. I think if you're into a process of anticipation and you've had that kind of pursuit and anticipation, then that's where it feels amazing to get to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Handcuffs, ropes, blindfolds, or other edgy play toys are being used, or climax is guaranteed either on my own or when we reach it together. I don't hugely align with either, so I'm going to say neither. I think I really, as we have talked about on the podcast before, I'm not a strong believer in orgasm being mandatory to have a really hot experience. Really don't believe in that.
Okay.
And I don't know, I haven't had a lot of experience in edgy play toys, whatever that means. It's a pretty broad spectrum, isn't it?
And you're not like,
and I'm not, I don't feel turned on thinking about those things, but it could be just that I haven't experienced them.
Broad.
I would say neither for now.
Right. Yeah.
Mr. on Wham being teased for a long time. I get the space to yearn for sexual connection. I agree with half of it and not the other.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
It's like, do you yearn? Would you yearn?
Well, yeah, I think it's just the term yearn, isn't it? I've just, that's it. Okay, thank you. That's helpful.
Confusing.
Yes, I would say on that one. But I take issue with the word yearn.
I always want to send suggestions for like, I don't know, phrasing this in more like user-friendly ways. Like, maybe it depends on, or like maybe yearn is a word people use for like.
Maybe it is. Don't know, but the teasing is good. Sex feels never ending with many waves of change, creativity, and intensity, or it's clear who's leading and who's submitting, who's in what role during our hot interaction. I love clear power dynamics. That is me. The second one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. And I would be super curious to see.
They are similar.
Yeah, where some of this stuff sits in people who have a background of sexual trauma or other things, because I think I can imagine power play.
I don't think people power play is like I think that. Look, I don't want to, because you don't want to go into like kink shaming and stuff like that.
No, God, like, no.
Or like, and you don't want to be like, oh, this person's kinky, therefore they must have been traumatized.
Yeah, no.
But, I mean, it's hard to imagine that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, just personally, I fully can see the link, just even for myself, of like those clear, that it's not actually not. Coming from that background doesn't mean that I like to be dominated or I don't like to be dominated. I just like to know what we're doing. And that is what is really hot for me.
Yeah.
So it's
I like rules.
Yeah. Including then mutually breaking a rule because you've agreed. Like it's funny, isn't it? Like even with a rule, you can mutually agree to break it. Which is hot as well. Yeah. I'm most turned on when a lover's body is pressing against me and we're merging into each other. There's no space between us. One of my hottest experiences ever.
The other one seems like
was, it is a bit the same, isn't it? And I don't hugely resonate with, but one of my hottest experiences ever was I was at a friend's wedding in Melbourne and we're all staying in the same hotel. And there was a guy that I'd been flirting with all evening, but it was never really going to go anywhere. It was just fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to have sex necessarily, but again, the anticipation and that kind of like lusting after someone with almost without it going anywhere is hotter sometimes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And we were a whole group of us riding the elevator back or up, down, wherever, to the floor that a lot of us were on. And he was standing up against me and I could feel him hard behind me. And that was like so hot. And what was great was we then didn't fuck. We didn't have to. It wasn't a thing, but it was a supremely hot experience.
That's like sometimes the hottest part of anything. Like
totally
just knowing.
Yeah, that there's desire there.
Yeah. It's like the feeling.
Totally. But that just made me think of that, the body pressing against me. But that's not really how I feel in sex. So no.
Right. That's true, hey.
Weird. When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave the experience of transcendence, ecstasy, and full-bodied awakening. Holy shit, that sounds intense.
I wish I knew what that was like.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
It does sound very intense.
The other one does not.
No.
Even less.
No. Yeah. Neither resonate with me. Both sound too intense on opposite ends of the spectrum, I think, for me. Both of which I would be uncomfortable with. So neither. Okay. Sexual interaction mostly crave full presence in the moment. My partner being fully present to my body, heart, and soul. Being acknowledged, appreciated, and accepted for my high sex drive desires and need for sex. I do think the second one is more me.
Second sounds good.
Cool. When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave amazing touch, massage, and deep pleasure in my entire body. A total acceptance for what I think are my out-of-the-box sexual desires.
Yes.
So Tess is the second one. I am definitely not into massage, but unfortunately for me, just speaking me personally, I think that's a bit of a trauma thing.
Yeah.
Massage is just a bit of a trigger for me, unfortunately. So sorry to potential lovers out there. Do not date me if you're into massage, or just don't massage me. Total accepts what I think is my out-of-the-box sexual desires. It's funny, I don't actually... I'm trying to think of an example. I don't actually think
you're not context. Because in that case, you actually have to be judging yourself. So like I have a lot of shame around sex or like the stuff that I want to do, and I'm aware of that, and therefore I do feel like there are out of the box desires. But someone could have the same desires and then they're totally out of the
standard. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like it would be not a they wouldn't click that. So what else? And
I also don't I think there could also be circumstances in my head. I haven't had an experience like this, but I in picturing it could imagine enjoying an interaction where almost someone being taken aback by a certain fantasy or shock is actually kind of hot.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
That actually total acceptance, quote unquote, might be a bit of a boner killer for me.
Right.
Yeah. Is that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because it's like, I think this is the issue with communication around kinks.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes that someone not shaming it means it's not interesting anymore.
Yeah, that might be it. And not in a sense like of then not into it and not consenting. Like, no, that's not what that means. But more just like
channels of
and how it's communicated. I think if someone was like, oh, I just accept you totally as you are.
I think
that would be.
But I think like, Mae Martin.
I love
her
Mae.
TV show. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called.
It's awesome.
It's like like getting it on, and they're like, I don't even like. I think you're just like a basic heterosexual bitch, blah blah blah, or whatever. Like they just say all these things, and then they're like, but by the way, I just think like you're really complex, like
complex and
yeah,
I
complex
actually really think that.
sexuality and like all of this. I don't think I do that. And they're like, shh, like keep going.
Yeah.
I think sometimes like in the moment you can do like if it's established separately, like if
Yeah.
sometimes I just in the moment it can kill it, but like
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
things are, like consent or like the rules or whatever or what you're into can be established like over breakfast.
Yes.
And then like in them
yeah,
and not kill the moment ideally.
Yeah.
But, like, I get that sometimes you have to
Oh,
stop
absolutely.
things,
yeah.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
just
But actually, I really
sometimes
respect you as a person.
Because if you're into degradation, then you can't be accepted in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I've never thought about that as a part of my. Anyway, I'm going to say neither because I don't hugely feel either.
Yeah.
When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave endless, timeless, erotic sessions when I'm fed in all ways, when my hunger is seen as a superpower instead of as overwhelming or too much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of clients, hey?
That's
fair.
And I can definitely appreciate why that would be something you would crave.
Yeah.
I think especially depending on what your previous relationships are like.
Sometimes I think like for men, there's not much acceptance for that. So or expectation that you are like this or that you do like this. So it sort of becomes this like, well,
and I wonder,
I found it.
I wonder how much for that comes from these societal bullshit gender binaries where we say men want sex all the time and they're like rabid animals and they can't control themselves, and women never want sex and just put up with men. Like that
becomes like interesting to like swap that and go
what if or
like
also
the cool thing,
or also if your hunger, your sexual and erotic hunger is considered amazing and interesting and something to explore, the consenting party or parties, that's really liberating. I don't really feel that, but I can totally vibe with what that's saying. Scratching, slapping, squeezing, or being, I'm not into that.
Right.
Unfortunately, I can't get out of my head enough to be into that. Which, who knows? Maybe I would be into it if I could, but I can't. So that one's a no for me. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with getting caught up in my head. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, right. Okay, we are different. Some of these.
Oh, interesting. So which is you?
For me, the last couple would have been the other one. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely caught up in my head.
No,
in some areas, I think. Yeah, I don't really feel shame. I don't think.
Actually, I think to me the shame leads to the caught up in my head.
Yeah. I think they do kind of reinforce
like
each
interact.
other.
Yeah. Anyway.
Interesting. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with getting the amount of sexual intercourse and climaxes I want.
Yeah.
Or experiencing.
Even as a sex worker, I'm like,
I love it. Just like, yes.
It's been a slow week.
You're really feeling it this
also
week.
Just like not used to doing without it.
Yeah. So you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Changes your relationship with it. It's weird to have a day off.
Experiencing pleasure during a lot of physical sensation and speaking up when things aren't feeling right. I struggle with, sorry, I had to realign. I was like, wait, I'm into that? No. I struggle with, okay.
Like, okay. Oh, like I guess both.
Both for you? Yeah. I don't really super feel the first one, but then I'm in a bit of a weird place anyway.
Yeah.
I do think
probably.
Yeah, probably more the second one for me.
Yeah.
I think because I have found it in some previous casual experiences, more the second half is a little tricky because sometimes you want to be numb.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
totally.
I get a little, like it's then tricky. And then sometimes afterwards I feel okay about that. And then other times I don't.
Right. Oh my God.
So that's a little tricky because this idea of like, speaking up if it doesn't feel right. Well, sometimes I don't know.
If it's an avoidance thing, then
exactly.
Like the numbing is what
is actually what you're there for. Yeah.
And you don't know until after. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Which I don't know if that, I don't think it's good or bad. It's just interesting.
No. Yeah.
When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with lovers being too nice. Yes.
Yeah.
That is me. But what is the second one? I'm always the one shifting in order to please my partner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Don't super resonate with that one. Do you resonate with that one?
It would be both.
Yeah,
both
right.
of those. Like big time, yeah. I mean, they're probably more in my personal relationships. It's probably been more well, to me, they're both the same.
Yes. Right. You're doing the first
feeling
one.
Like I'm looking after it
because of it.
I guess this is where it's better for me to be paid.
Right.
Because it's what I do, but I don't always want to be in that position in my personal life.
Yeah. Whereas in the workspace, it
feels
like
appropriate.
Well, yeah, it's appropriate that you're taking control of the situation.
It's hard for me to sexualize it in my personal life. Because I want to feel like wanted and that they want me as much as I want them.
Yeah.
Whereas I guess like that's implied in work. Yeah. Someone's paying money for you. And you're like, that ticks that box.
Yeah. Well, it feels like then it's less. You sort of that pressure of getting my needs met kind of is taken out of it in a sense.
Yeah.
As in that's a bonus and often you can, but I
don't deal with this in professional life either of them really.
I have been the first one in the past at least.
Okay.
For sure. I struggle with I'm bored, I need more variety and things feel pretty stale or mediocre. Or I get close to orgasm and a thought comes in to disturb me. The things that need to be done, am I doing this right? My partner isn't doing it right, etc. Interesting.
Right. Someone like goes for your armpit. Which is a reference to a previous conversation with Sean.
Which you will hear in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty unique circumstance. Because, if you're close to orgasm, hopefully your partner just keeps doing what they're doing because it's working. Just a little tip out there. If anyone's not quite got that.
I need more variety. Things. Oh, yeah. I guess, I don't know. I think I'd be the first one.
Yeah. Variety is the spice of life, I do feel. And I think I'm not overly attached to orgasms. Maybe I am less than the average bear. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
It isn't for me. It certainly doesn't ever make or break an interaction personally.
I think I care more about their orgasm.
Interesting.
Probably care too much. But to me, it's just like I like it if they're like at some point a little bit selfish. I like to see that.
Yes. So you kind of enjoy that dynamic.
They're overcome with like pleasure and they just can't. Not.
Take.
Like it's they just like become immersed in the experience. I'm really into that. My own whatever. I can do it.
I can do that. I can handle that later.
Whatever. I don't really mind. It's not like a big deal. But maybe I think it might be caught up in that I feel like I come quite easily and quickly.
Right.
So it's really isn't a big deal for me to come. Like it's not special.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not it's not complicated. So I just sort of go like that'll probably happen or not. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's an option.
Interesting. Yeah.
Whereas I can understand that some, especially, well, like from what I have heard, like for women, it can be like
a
lot of focus. So maybe that is different.
Yeah. Interesting. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with being rejected when it comes to my need for sexual interaction, intercourse, and my turn on. Or a lack of present sacredness and understanding that sex is more than just a physical act.
I feel like both can apply.
Interesting. So you're both. I don't really feel either. Struggle most. No, I don't really resonate with either, I don't reckon. Oh, actually, no. To be fair, I was in a relationship. And to be fair, it was in a culty environment. So it's all a little tinged in stuff. But I was in a sexual relationship where I was definitely much more sexual than they were. And partly because it was wrapped up in religion and stuff. So they would often try and oh, I think I've lost Tess. That's super weird. I hope she can get back into this meeting. Sorry, guys. This is super strange. I hope this is still recording as well. Hang on a second. Doo-doo. Interesting. I do need to get my laptop charger. Hang on a second. Okay. I don't know where Tess has gone. She says, sorry, one sec. Hello.
Oh, sorry.
No, all good.
We swapped sources.
Okay.
Okay.
All good. We are back.
We're back.
I was saying I was in a relationship where my partner, for religious reasons, really tried not to have sex.
Oh, that's the perfect way to have lots of hot sex.
Yes, but I did not cope with when he would reject my advances.
Yeah.
So that one was tough. Not good for me. Oh, okay. About to send you an email all about you. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing.
You can put in the podcast.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
They do send a lot of spam. I don't know how to block that shit, but
hardpod@outlook.com, hey?
Yeah.
Complete quiz. What does it tell me?
Spam forever.
It's okay. Why do you want to know my location?
Yeah, weird.
It is thinking.
It's a bit glitchy.
Oh
my God. We are compatible.
Whoa, that is a huge surprise.
Yeah. Same as.
Congratulations, you did it. Your type is kinky.
But it describes the different types and the different ways.
So if I just scroll down, full. Interesting. Ooh, okay, so 30.77 kinky, 23.08 sexual, 23.08. Oh, same energetic. Sensual, right down the bottom one, 7.69. And 15% shapeshifter. Interesting. Okay.
Right.
So as a kinky type, you're turned on by whatever is taboo for you. That could be sex out of missionary style, or it could be whips and chains.
Right. So it's very personal, I guess.
You may prefer psychological kink or sensation-based kink.
Right.
Or you may love it all. The word of kink is vast, and you're fed by creativity and your intimacy. True. As a kinky, shame or getting caught in the rut of only being turned on by one taboo desire may be your challenge. Oh, interesting. Fascinating.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
That's so interesting.
I think you can. I
Does
don't
this
know
video
whether
play in
I
here?
think it might. I don't know.
Let's see if it.
I don't know if it sends more detail in the email. Oh, I can't.
Could you hear that or no?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay, that's fine.
It's available.
Interesting.
More hot details. Oh, coming to your inbox. Oh yeah.
Look what that one does. Sorry, folks. Now on Patreon, you're just watching us go around the internet. So you can buy a full report on. Right. Okay. So
you can.
You are turned on by all of your senses being ignited. You can reach heights of turn on and peak orgasmic states from playing simply in the mind. Yeah. Power dynamics, sexual games.
Okay, we are.
You're able to access non-ordinary states of consciousness by going deep in surrender, control, intense sensations. You're incredibly creative and have an opportunity to uncover a rich and wildly abundant world of play and pleasures. You can train or be trained to orgasm on demand. Intense sensation or pain can be exquisitely pleasurable. True.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. You may find deep healing playing within the container.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I think that's quite common.
You may have struggled in these ways.
Yeah.
You've struggled in intimate encounters. Interesting. There you go.
Yeah.
So I would recommend, folks, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah. What was your second one?
I
can't remember. It'll be.
I've just got a guest coming into my house. Come in.
Hey.
We're just recording for Patreon. We're nearly finished. Give me.
Okay.
Just add a bit.
I think we sort of
covered most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you when we stop recording. But yes, interesting. So wow, we're both kinky. What was my second one? I think my second one was
it energetic or
no, I think it was
sexual. Right. So we've
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
cool. Good to know. Give it a go.
Give it a go. We want to hear from you. We might even be able to do some eps with story times that link to some of these things. So let us know.
Yeah.
What is your thing? All right. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.